I got my first Apple Watch Series 3 back in 2016, and I've been using it since then to track my workout, gather health information, and more or less just use it to keep track of my progress. But recently I noticed like the battery life is not as good as it used to be, and I decided that okay, maybe it's time to upgrade. And basically considering all of the reviews that I saw online, I was like, I'm gonna try out and see how the Ultra feels compared to the new Series 8 or SE. More or less from day-to-day functionality point. The reason I'm saying day-to-day functionality point because it comes on later when I compare them deeper that like one of them is more for a day-to-day, one of them is for a niche group. And by day-to-day, I mean I work on my computer for about 6 hours a day. I do sessions with clients about a couple of hours a day, and then I do my own workout, and none of them is on the extreme, but it's more like a general population and stuff. What I was looking for more or less was how they feel and how comfortable it is for all of those situations. I'm not gonna compare based on the data or how accurate the data is. I'm gonna link a couple of videos that go more in depth about that because I don't have enough tools to do that, and I think they have done a better job with comparing the data gathering part. But what I'm gonna compare is like, is it a good fit for almost everyone or not? So first of all, the quality. Coming from the Watch 3, I would say both of these feel definitely better in the quality. Watch 3 was, I want to say a good starting fitness tracker, but not really that much of a quality watch. But then between the SE and the Ultra, you can see the difference of the quality as well. One of them is heavier, heftier, a bit more rugged, and feels stronger and more pronounced on your wrist, and the other one is like just there. But this being rugged and stronger in the quality later on comes on to hunt Ultra in my point of view. The other thing I would like to talk about is the size difference. So I got the SE in the 45mm, and Ultra comes only in 49mm, and me coming from an SE with 41mm or something like that, both of these in terms of the screen size, they look enormous, but one of them feels definitely more comfortable on my wrist compared to the other one, and that is SE. Ultra, it's not just the size, and like I'm not a big guy, I'm 6 foot tall, 160 pounds, and I think my wrist is about 7 inches. But like I'm not a small guy either, so but Ultra feels out of word on my wrist. It feels so heavy, and it at some point it feels uncomfortable. But there are ups and downs with that. So what I like about Ultra is that larger size means larger screen and better battery life to a degree, not as much as you may think so. But the SE feels a lot more comfortable and also feels a lot more like the Series 3 that I had. So it doesn't really, I don't really notice it being on my wrist. I am used to that weight being on my wrist at this point. When I say Ultra feels uncomfortable though, it feels uncomfortable in multiple situations. One of them is the sleeping. Most of the people who get these watches want to use them as a sleep tracker because that's one of the main features that Apple promotes on their website. However, having this watch on your wrist all night long is not the most comfortable thing. If you sleep on your back all night and you don't move, maybe it works for you. But if you have the tendency to toss and turn around, it's gonna come in your way, and you are gonna feel the weight and notice the weight on your wrist for sure. The other thing is in specific workout style. So I do kickboxing, and I do jump roping, I do weightlifting and swimming and different stuff. In kickboxing and weightlifting specifically, it feels uncomfortable in multiple occasions. So unless you find an armband and attach it onto your arm for kickboxing, for example, you are gonna notice it. It's not gonna disappear on your wrist. I use it for almost 2 weeks for all of those activities, but it is there. Like I see people say, oh, if you use it enough, you're not gonna feel it anymore. No, you're gonna feel it. And then in weightlifting, in the specific movements, for example, if you're doing pull-ups, if you're doing cable workouts, you are gonna feel the weight and the dimension. So the other thing is like, as soon as you move your wrist in weird angles, it is gonna get in the way of your wrist, and there is nothing you can do about it. It is there. So going from the size point to wearability, which is another important point to me, was can you use both of them for almost anything during the day? I'm a coach. I have a bit more an active lifestyle, and my fashion attire is a bit more casual. But I was wondering, can you basically wear them and go to your client session, meetings, your own workouts, and then go for a drink at night or go to swimming pool or whatever you want to do during the afternoon? The thing is, with the SE, it's easy to get a kind of like a more normal band for it, and it is gonna be there, but it's not gonna be noticeable. The other thing that I would say is, like, I'm not a big fan of the trend of always on screen, because when the screen is not on, it's not gonna be noticed if you're out for dinner. When the screen is on all the time, it is gonna be there all the time. Everyone is gonna notice it all the time. I think you can turn off the always on screen, but for the battery comparison, I kept it on during these 2 weeks, and I'm gonna get back to the battery in a short minutes. But I think if you're a bigger guy, you can probably pull it off easily to do both of those things. Do your workout, do your day-to-day meetings and work, and then go to an after party, after hour drink with friends and coworkers. If you are smaller on the size between the guys, or if you're a girl, it's gonna be definitely harder. And the other thing is, like, if I'm paying $800, I want something that I can wear it almost all day long. Because at that point, I want this to be more or less a combination of this plus Whoop or Aura. Unfortunately, it is not comfortable to do both of those things. In terms of battery life, I saw a lot of reviews saying that, hey, like, Ultra probably lasts easily 3 days or even more on low battery mode or whatever it's called. And SE or Series 8 are far behind. So I noticed that this can pull off 3 days of battery life comfortably if you don't really do that much of a workout. If you work out, I don't know, 90 minutes a day, it's not gonna last 2 days, 3 days. It probably lasts 2 days. And then SE, if you work out 90 minutes a day, then it's gonna last a day and a half. In terms of functions and data that they gather, there's a bit of a difference because the Ultra uses newer sensors, right? Ultra seems to be getting better data out of your workouts, out of your heart rate, out of your body temperature, and then it has extra sensors. So SE doesn't have body temperature sensor, it doesn't have ECG, it doesn't have the blood oxygen. So if those three are somewhat important to you, or if you like to dive and diving feature is an important part to you, or if you need the accurate GPS because you are planning to do a specific route and you want to compare your time every day compared to the other day, you may be better off with the Ultra. But if you are just using them, either of them, as a workout companion, you should be fine. It's not that much of a difference. After 2 weeks of using both of these next to each other, if I want to recommend one of them to someone, I would say if you keep in mind that you are gonna need to upgrade either of them in 3 to 4 years, $800 means about $200 a year. I got this E for $250. So even if I get like only 2 years out of it, this is gonna have a better return on my investment compared to the Ultra. Unless you need those specific features, or unless you find yourself in that niche group that Apple has designed this for. So if you're a diver that doesn't really dive professionally, because these are not professional diver monitors either, or if you are planning to do a marathon or like a half marathon, or if you're a triathlon, Ultra is more or less for those type of people, for people who are active and athlete, like more like an athlete level or elite active people who are not professional athletes. And I think based on the fact that we usually update our watches or whatever tool we use every 3 to 4 years, my personal thing to recommend to people would be SE. For general population, for the clients that I work with, that are people who go to office and sit behind a desk for between 9 to 5 and then go do a workout and then go out to dinner or hang out with friends or something, and might be a weekend warrior doing something on the weekend, but not any type of like elite athlete style, SE probably works the best. Okay, so all in all, I would say for the price difference of from 250 to 800, for about $550, I would recommend this SE to about 90% of the people, and then probably like 5% of people I would recommend the Series 8, and then another 5% the Ultra.